Yes, there was a little bit of a riot. There's probably still a riot because people always riot. Regarding Ledger. Let's
Ledger.
Hello, I'm Charles Guillemet,
website.
CTO at Ledger. I'd like to take a Hello, I'm Charles Guillemet, CTO at Ledger. I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce a new service. Ledger Recover is an optional subscription for users who want a backup of their secret recovery phrase so they can restore access to their wallets whenever, wherever, even if they have lost or broken their Ledger Nano and don't have their recovery sheet with them. For some people, it's a very convenient service, but some others simply don't need it. You can continue managing your secret recovery phrase all by yourself if that's why you bought a ledger at the first place. This is not automatically enabled by any firmware updates. This is your choice. Self-custody is at the core of our offering, and your secret recovery phrase is created on your device. We have no access to it. This will never change. We are uncompromising about security, and that will never change. If you choose to subscribe, Ledger Recover encrypts your secret recovery phrase and splits it into 3 fragments. All of this happens inside the secure element chip, so your private key is never at risk. These encrypted fragments are stored by 3 different parties on hardware security modules. In this process, Ledger and our trusted providers have no access to your secret recovery phrase. There's no backdoor for anyone, neither us, a provider, or even a very gifted hacker to access it. Individually, these encrypted fragments are completely useless. When you want to restore your keys, 2 of these 3 parties will send back their fragments to your Ledger device, which will be able to recombine your secret recovery phrase and allow you to access back your wallet. Decryption can only happen on the Ledger secure element chip after identity verification. The split, encryption or decryption happens on your Ledger device and does not involve any other party than you. Nobody within Ledger or outside Ledger ever has access to it. Self-custody remains and will always be the core principle of Ledger. The ethos of self-custody is that it's your choice. You can choose to manage all your assets completely by yourself, or you can have a backup with Ledger Recover.
Okay, so I'm showing this 2:36 because there was a lot of FUD, buzz, whatever you want to call it, about Ledger introducing Ledger Recover. So if we go to their website, really briefly, you can see Ledger Recover. Protect your seed phrase with Ledger Recover. Recover your keys using your identity. Coming soon. Soft launch exclusively for Nano X. With Ledger Recover, you'll never get locked out of your wallet. Ledger Recover backs up your secret recovery phrase and links it to your identity. There's a video here, link in the description. So you need to do KYC with Ledger and record a selfie. When you've done that, your Ledger Nano X duplicates your recovery phrase, splits it into 3 pieces, and sends that to 3 separate entities. That's a little bit the TLDR. Why would you want this? Because people are now scared that there's now potentially backdoors. That's why they created this tweet. That there's backdoors or that there's other forms of data sharing, etc. You have to understand, and I know this is not a ledger, but if this were a ledger, this is the only spot in the world that contains my secret key and that contains my recovery phrase, so my 24 words. Nowhere else is this in existence. If I smash this, I need my words, my 24, 25 words. Get a new one and activate the new one. If now this ledger is here and I have my 24 words here, I put them all in this hand and my hand explodes, they're both gone. Then all my funds are gone forever. There is no mathematical, technical, human way to ever get to your funds ever again. Not even Ledger has the data. They couldn't help you if they wanted to. And that will never change. If I do not plug this thing in manually, this will never change. If I do not plug this in and click the buttons on there, there is no way that your funds can get siphoned from your wallet. Unless you are an idiot or you're getting scammed really cleverly, then you're still an idiot. And you plug this in and you authorize a smart contract and you give them the rights to do stuff, then technically you could still get scammed, but then it's still your fault. Yeah, there's no fix for stupid, I suppose. But why would you want this? I gave the example in the past, right? I have 2 children. They are young, under 10. I go travel with my wife every now and then. We take an airplane. I know everything for my ledger. I know where everything is, how everything works, etc. My wife, not so much, maybe a bit. If the plane crashes and we both die, then the ledger probably also gone. My phone is on me. My phone is also gone. I am gone. My wife's phone is gone. So how will then my children have access to our funds? How will then my family have access to my wealth? My dad still uses smoke signals to communicate and snail mail. He still licks post stamps whenever he wants to send a message. And he has a phone with a big ring that you can click to call somebody. I'm exaggerating, but that's almost true. Let's say that that's my family. My kids will have nothing. Nothing. When I die, when something happens. The funds will be lost forever. Even this, if this were the ledger, once again, they cannot access this because there's no one to enter the code. Because good hygiene says you should not write down your codes ever. Because it can get stolen or they put a drill bit to your kneecaps. Okay, that's all good and well. Never store your seed recovery phrase anywhere online. Don't write it down more places than you have to. But yeah, my children, if we die, finds this house and then they clean it out, nobody will know what those 24 words on that sheath of paper are. No one knows. And if you're not an absolute nut job, this matters to you, right? That's important. I mean, we're all trying to acquire wealth for freedom of time, blah, 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 generational wealth, what we call it. There's even people that have everything memorized. Imagine you fall on your head, instant amnesia. Congratulations, now you're poor. Because maybe you cannot even operate your ledger anymore. And you cannot tell anybody because you're like that. Then you have a problem. With this, you don't have to create a document like I did. I created the document where we travel. Spoke about this in another show. I made a couple of thumb drives and I wrote the entire story down in Eli 5 terms, right? So that any single person that can read it can actually gain access to our wealth. But that's a major no-no. That's a major liability. Because if somebody knows where I stored it, and I have like 100 of these things, so this is not the one. And it's not in my house, obviously. But these are all safety concerns and privacy concerns. And then people say, yeah, but you can also just put it in a bank and hire a bank vault. But aren't we trying to stay away from banks? And aren't banks closed 70 days a year? And can't banks go bankrupt? And so on and so on. So, I mean, it's all worst case scenarios, but what Ledger provides, I'm not going with it personally, not yet. But I think it's a great solution. I think it really solves a very, very big part of why people do not use Ledger. Some people in my environment surroundings are not using Ledger because they are not very conscientious. They're not good with codes. They're not good with numbers. And they're just afraid that they will lose everything because of a mistake. And that's not good for Ledger's business, obviously. But if you lose your PIN number or your credit card, you can just call your bank, go there, show them your ID, and you can get your card activated or your account activated. If somebody dies, you can go there with a, how do you call that thing? Certificate of death. Okay, listen, my dad died. I need access to the accounts. And it will take some time, but it will work. Same with Google Authenticator. Have you ever looked at the procedure to activate your authenticator in case your phone gets smashed or something like that? It's also a lot of work, but that's what you pay for security and privacy. Ledger now offers the same. So you can store your seed. They throw it in 3 different vaults. 2 companies are known. The third is a secret. It is not possible, allegedly, to combine them. Hacks are possible, stuff maybe, whatever. But still, it's a decent option. Same as with your bank. And I have no doubt that in the future, they'll give some sort of guarantee or whatever. I mean, trust needs to be established, right?
Yeah.
But shooting this down at a first glance, I think is idiotic. I think, and that's what we spoke of earlier. There's this culture, there's this preconception that everybody has about how things should be done. And I think it's outdated. I think it's an old way of thinking. And the way Ledger operates right now is not the future. The way MetaMask operates right now, it is not the future. We will laugh 5 years, 10 years from now, why the hell we ever did it like the way we do it now. Because it's just a hassle. It's not customer friendly. It's not safe. It's not secure. I mean, it is safe and secure until something bad happens. And then your funds are lost. And that's very good for all the other holders, but it's not good for you, right? There's no fail safe. And for a military system, Ledger is perfect, right? For that type of security, it's yeah. This message will self-destruct. Like that.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be mainstream the way it is right now. Ledger, they have to do this. They have to do this. And Trezor will follow suit. Trezor will definitely follow suit. Sorry, I've been talking for 30 minutes, I think. Tim.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. Then when I do, I usually don't interrupt. I just also just got the Ledger news that they're trying to, well, that they are going to implement this on in their services, which I think is great. Because, well, I know that most people in crypto have no clue what's going on. Once again, trusting them with their own security. We've had this discussion many times before. Do I handle my own crypto security? Yes, I do, but I do know that a lot of people around me are not capable to do so. Or if they are, they will probably make a mistake somewhere, making them still vulnerable. So the future will obviously be in some kind of solution like this. And I think that a party like Ledger stepping up is a great thing because they are decentralized. And as you said, you still need the device.
Yeah.
That's a great thing, man. And we'll see how it plays out. But,
it will be distributed.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, I think it's a great move, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Ledger Recover, provided by CoinCover, fixes all this. Some tweets. Wrote my recovery phrase on a piece of paper, lost it during a move. Still got a couple of ETH sitting in it. Wrote my recovery phrase down with some tricks. Forgot the tricks. RIP BTC. Wrote a word twice. Lost a few of them, fortunately without any funds in the wallet. I still think that seed phrase is pretty complicated for most people. Couldn't find my recovery phrase for a long time. Turns out I left it in a pair of old pants that my mom decided to put through the washer. There's tons of examples of this. And human error is always going to happen. And the same, right? I mean, we heard this discussion 10,000 of times, and there's these people coming out of the woodwork. Yeah, I know. I don't want to write all my 24 words in one spot, so I just skip every fifth word. Or no, man, just cut it in 3 pieces and then store 1 piece here, store 1 piece there, store 1 piece there. It all works until somebody's house burns down, or you get amnesia, or you're the only person that knows how it works. I mean, that's why I had to compromise on the security to a degree. Because, yeah, in the end, I still live for my kids now that I have them, right? And that is what's going on in crypto more often than not. People do not think about the future. We think about the now, we think about ourselves. And this, I think this was inevitable.
Yeah, it is. And it's definitely a great solution that they are adding, and we'll see how that plays out.